really be to go to sleep on your crew, but a nice confession. What were you doing?
I'm not sure. We just right from the entry, we just timing was all a bit out, and then I was just actually looking at the wrong number in the pre-start, and we just put ourselves in a bad position, and really from there we conceded the start. So I was pretty pissed off myself. But we got straight back into the race, and I think with this type of race course and the way the boat's going, we've got opportunities as long as we're close to the bottom.
How much stick are you braced for in the debrief?
Well, I'm going to obviously be putting my hand up pretty high for that one, but that was nice to bounce back and have a really good, solid second race.
Now, one of our commentators, just instead of a million miles from me, was calling it boring, beautifully boring.
It never feels boring, I'll tell you. There's always something going on, and the boats are very, very hard to manage. Today with slightly less breeze, it was on that sort of cusp of foiling, non-foiling at times. The jibes get a little bit harder, and so more chances of sort of making small mistakes. And the guys really worked hard, and they'll be very tired tonight.
Much being made of the dial down and the fact that Oracle were calling for a penalty on you. What was the tactic, and how close did you feel you got?
No, there's nothing in it. It was it's very clear what you're entitled to do out of when you're upwind, and we certainly didn't push it hard or do anything that was dangerous. They were quite late veering off to go behind us, and it just made it harder for them.
Jimmy Spittle just then saying, that it's all there for you to lose, and that's his motivation. I mean, you would probably recognise that.
To be honest with you, it's we've got to go out and win it. It's not us to lose. We've got to go and win this thing. It's, we need 3 more points. We're only 2/3 of the way through in terms of number of wins that we've got. So still a long, long way to go, and we've got a tough weekend ahead. 4 races on Saturday and Sunday, and the current's going to be quite different. We have an ebb tide for the first time in this event, and that'll mix it up a bit with the boats.
Dean, what could they come up with that you haven't seen yet? People come up and don't look at it.
What could they come up with? Well, they really the only options they've got now is changing foils to improve their own performance. And, whether it's rudders or boards, I'm not even sure what they've got exactly, but they can still make changes there.
But there's always a trade-off.
Always a trade-off, and they'll potentially give up some downwind performance to try and go better upwind. It's nothing for nothing in these boats, so we're very aware that if they make a change in that direction, then the boat for them will be a bit harder to sail.
Dean, did you feel that dial down was a decisive moment for that race?
I wouldn't say it was decisive. It was certainly something that we'd talked about, and then as the situation developed, Ray was pretty clear on the move, and it's something that we practiced. So it worked as well as we could have hoped.
Dean, if you do close this out, what would you say that the key couple or 3 things are about your campaign that's going to help you do that?
We're not even thinking about that yet. We just want to
pick up where you left off. This is the tipping point. Is that what you mean by pivotal?
Oh, I think so. Look, for us, we've sailed in a range of conditions now. Like we've sailed in some lighter breeze, we've sailed in some stronger breeze. The only thing we've got left to sail now is the ebb tide, effectively, which is slightly rougher water. But we're fairly confident in our boat in rougher water, and a lot of the sailing we've done in the Hauraki Gulf has been fairly rough and fairly wobbly. So we've got full confidence in our boat in going into ebb tide, and we're really looking forward to some big races.
That's the point, Glenn Ashby. Whatever conditions we've seen so far, you're an all-round boat, and you just got it everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's that was the design brief at the start of the campaign. Was we want an all-round boat that's going to perform well in all conditions. But as a sailing team, we really needed a boat that we could push hard in all conditions. And we've certainly had the hammer down with this boat in a lot of conditions, and we know that we can sail the boat right up towards,
including attacking jib, where your tactician can actually have his head out of the boat.
Yeah, look, that the self-tacking jib wasn't without its compromises on the paper, but we're very, very happy that we chose that path, and we see in a short tacking up the shore today, hitting the other guys. You just need every single bit of resource you can to move boards and move the wing around, and there's so many functions on the boat. They're just absolutely man hungry, and you just need everything you can to be easy for you if you can.
So big picture, you need 3 wins, they need 10. They can change more crew. You look comfortable. You've got the momentum.
Look, we've just got to keep chipping away, and hopefully we'll have a good day on Saturday and a good day on Sunday, and we'll just see what happens from there. But the boat feels good, and all the guys are feeling good, and that's the main thing.
Comprehensive, emphatic.
Well, yeah, the second race was better than the first one for us, but it was obviously very satisfying to get 2 wins today.
So not talking about your start in race 1 or how brilliant you were in the second race today, but a key thing to me was the conditions. 10 to 12 knots, maybe 13 in the first race, race 6, and then up to 20 knots or more in the second race. My point is, this is a potted summary across all conditions. You've got it.
Well, the boat is going really well upwind across a variety of conditions, which is very reassuring. It's gives the guys a lot of confidence, and we just know we've got to sail the boat well now. So it's nice to get a look at a different condition and find that we've still got a click of advantage there, and it's certainly very unexpected, but you definitely take it.
What were the break points in those 2 races from your perspective? Was it the start of leg 2 and leg 3 in the first one, and the start in the second?
Well, in the first race, I think just being close at the bottom again. I don't know what the delta was, but we got the split at the gate, and that meant that we were sort of out of phase straight away, and we're able to set up in lanes that we wanted to be in, and so that was good. And then we just got a couple of nice shifts, and we're straight back into it. Second race, having a good lead off the line and being able to convert that into a lead at Mark 1 and then defend that well down the run, it was really good. And then to get around the bottom mark in front, we've got confidence that as long as we stay in the same bit of water, that we can stretch away.
Any words across the ships in the dial up, on the dial down? Sorry.
What's that? Sorry.
Any words across the ships in the dial?
In the dial down, that was clever.
No, it was just something that we've talked about, and it was definitely a move that we wanted to use, and it worked well in that situation.
Because you'd stalled them, they lost at least 4 boat lengths, and you could say 6. Was that the intention?
Well, maybe it worked better than we were hoping, but it was just a case of taking an advantage when we could, and then it sort of it was a tough beat because it was light. And it wasn't completely clear which way you wanted to go.
What about that beat in the second race? Boy, you had your big men pumping, and boy, there was plenty of blood going through the hearts. Whoa, that was hard work.
Well, the guys, they dig it in, without question. They just prepared just to keep sort of pushing as hard as they possibly can. It's what they've trained for, and they're obviously looking forward to the end of the day. But they'll have a day off tomorrow to recover and be out firing again on Saturday.
So let's take a big deep breath here and say 3 wins needed for you, 10 for them. You've got the momentum. You've proved today you're a boat for all seasons or all conditions.
Yeah.
New Zealand's getting excited.
Yeah, but we're not. We know that there's still a long way to go. 3 points is still. It's going to be hard 3 points to win. We know these guys aren't going to roll over, and we have to go out and race hard in each of the next races we do to try and get some wins.
How driven are you to get your hands back on the America's Cup?
We wouldn't be here if we weren't driven, and Team New Zealand exists to win the America's Cup, and that's why we're here. And we've got an opportunity, but we've still got to go out and perform well on the water.
How hard is it to keep that focus?
Oh, not at all. It's the thing now is that we've got confidence in our equipment. We know what's working, what's not. We've got slightly different conditions this weekend with ebb tide as opposed to the flood, so that'll mix things up a little bit. But we're definitely very, very hungry now to go out and put together a good showing on Saturday and just see what we get. Well, I guess for them they've got to. I think they've got to try and improve their upland performance. Because we can be close enough at the bottom, and then if we are, then it makes it tough for them upwind to try and defend if they're in front. And we pushed pushed it hard today and in a different condition, and we found that we've still got a bit of an advantage in even the lighter ones, and that's I think that makes it pretty hard for them.
Do you think the extra work they're having to put in on the days off and that is a bit of a factor the deeper we go into this regatta?
Well, I think today was their 6th day on the trot, if I'm not wrong, and so that's it's a lot of sailing in these boats. We sort of in all the lead up and things we sort of thought 3, maybe 4 days on the trot was about the maximum before the preparation of the boat would start to fall away. But I guess they've got a pretty big team, so they can spend the nights really working hard on the boat. And but yeah, at some point you must be giving up something in terms of freshness and hunger if you're out there all the time.
I mean, you're talking about the boat, and the bodies are going to be taking a bit of a beating out there at that length of time as well. Yeah, well, they've got 2 full race crews, so they can probably substitute a number of the guys around, try and rest up a few of the grinders and things. But it's hard. You've got it. Your mind's got to be on the job when you're out there in one of these boats. So for the guys trimming and steering and everything else, it does sort of, I'm sure, slowly wear you down. Well, surprisingly enough, ours is proving to be really good. We obviously had no idea of this going into the start of racing, but we're certainly not just sitting there thinking it's a done deal. We've got to keep improving ourselves because we know they're going to keep making changes, and we don't want to let them get a foot back in the door. So we want to just keep pushing on, and we'll evaluate everything we're doing. We'll be critical of the way we're doing different things, starting and reaching and even tacking and things where we can make gains there. Well, I think Razor's doing an amazing job. I've said before, we came here last year and we really were left wanting out on the race course. We didn't really have a very good idea of what was going on. We thought we did, but Ray is really taking it on in the last few months. He's worked very hard with clouds. We've got a local guy, Dee Smith, who's been very useful for us in terms of learning the currents and the breeze. And so we feel very comfortable out there now, knowing what is likely to work and what's not going to work. And it's you can see just, I guess, in his confidence and the way he's making calls on the boat that he knows where he wants to be. Do you feel you have to protect the boat a bit now if he's going to get super aggressive as he's talking about? I mean, you wouldn't want any damage to this boat, would you?
No, I think it would be pretty bad look if they start going out of their way to try and damage the boats. It's pretty clear in the rules that whenever you have to try and avoid any collision, which will result in any damage. But I think the best way to counter that is for us just to keep racing aggressively and hard ourselves. And so, we don't expect anything sort of dirty, I guess that's what you're asking, but yeah, we have to make sure we keep it in one piece.
Very good.
No, trying to avoid that, yeah.
Thank you, Dean.
I mean, you've been following them pretty closely up until now.
We have, and look, yeah, we were surprised that we had a little edge upwind. It was, but that's yachting. You take it when you can get it, absolutely.
Do you want to be wing trimmer again?
Be happy to be on any boat that's 72 foot long that foils it in any position. I think it's pretty good.
That's one interesting. There's been a change. It feels like there's a real change of mood among the crews now, particularly you guys. When I was here 2 months ago, people were talking about them being scary, intimidating, often called them dangerous. Do you think it feels like the mood's changed? Have you all sort of learnt enough now that you feel differently about them?
I mean, we've been very comfortable. Myself personally, have been very comfortable with the boats from day one, and we wanted a boat that we could push hard, and we had to sail in strong breeze. And at the end of the day, it's the scary parts are when things break, but our boat's been fantastic, and we feel very comfortable that we can push the boat hard and send it around a racetrack foot flat to the floor, and that's knowing that you've got a boat underneath your bum that you can push hard is a great feeling.
Is this a game changer for the Cup? Can we not go back now from multi-hulls and foiling?
I mean, I think whatever happens in the future, the boats need to be exciting and they need to be fast and they need to be fun to sail. And I think match racing that we've seen in catamarans, which people never thought you could match race in multi-hulls. I think all those people will be hiding under the stairs at the moment.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Glenn.